You know, I never thought I'd need this until I actually saw it before my eyes. Hey guys, Trife here, back again with another video. If you don't know, recently I've been looking through the suggestions of the UBG Discord, and I was notified of a ghost rework. That's right, a ghost rework. Pretty shocking, right? Ghost is already pretty strong, pretty complete as is. I do think it requires some balancing, but generally speaking, I don't think it needs anything particularly important that needs to be changed. These people disagree, that being Elysian and a balance team member called Gouda. I've been talking to Gouda about the game's balancing a lot recently, and he's pretty useful to the game. Overall, however, the rework itself, I've taken a look at, and I think overall it's pretty good. I don't know if it's necessary to be a rework, maybe a variant of the Ghost style, but I do think it's pretty high quality, and I see the thought put into it. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. If you guys like the video, you know what to do. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and join the Discord down below. And of course, massive shout out to the 5 members of the Tribe channel: Cool Guy Flunker, Arlaws, Lil Z, Brownoi, and Mercenary. So right off the bat, this suggestion was posted on the 18th of January this year. It's called Ghost Rework the Mega, and it was made by Elysian with the help of Gouda, a balance team member. Now, I'm not sure if Elysian is also a balance team member, doesn't seem like it. Seems like they didn't bother providing a description, which seems fine. I do think we can use the same description, except change it so that the ability is based around adaptation rather than the Ghost Jab. Right off the bat, we have the stats. With the M1s, the startup animation is the same as the Ghost Jab. No, we're not doing this. The Ghost Jab animation, yeah, you can make it the same startup as the base Ghost M1. Doesn't matter. It's not telegraphed whatsoever. The animation isn't going to match the hitbox. It's going to be extremely janky. This is a horrible idea. Right off the bat, no. We keep the M1 as is. I don't know what the obsession is with using the old animation. It wasn't even that cool. It wasn't that cool of an animation, and it only works within the context of the fact that it was an instant option. Otherwise, it's going to be the jankiest style in this game, even more so than it already was from an animation standpoint. Anyway, moving on from that horrid first impression, the punches that you can do in the M1 string will maximize at 10 in total, same damage as current Ghost. Also, the string speed is increased. Thank God, bro. The M1 string is so slow for zero reason. It's not that much of an issue, like I got used to it pretty quickly, but I don't know why it's so slow, considering it's supposed to be a fast style. Anyhow, the M2s, same speed and damage, less telegraphed animation. No, I don't know why we're doing this. No reason to do so. I get that Ricardo's punches are built around being really hard to see and really hard to telegraph and whatnot. That's for his jab. His right is telegraphed, you can dodge it. I don't know why we have this emphasis on making animations as annoying to see as remotely possible. That's gimmicky, and in the end doesn't really matter. It just makes the style somewhat annoying. I'll still be able to react to everything. That won't change. You're just making the M2 and the M1 a bit harder to see, which is just going to make it so that Ghost is going to give newer players a harder time than it needs to. Just make the animation match the hitbox when it comes out and matches the PD timing of the style. That's it. That's the rule, and that's how it should be. With that in mind, we move on to range. Slightly above average, being between basic and long guard, same as it is. Dashes, same as current. They should be nerfed because double dashing with Ghost is actually easier than Hanslow or Chronos, which is an oversight. I don't know if it's a bug or anything or something like that, but it does need to be nerfed. As for the guard, it's the same as current. But with corkscrews block HP regen, I see the premise. If we nerf dashes, I'd agree with this, otherwise keep the block and the HP regen the same. As for the counter bonus, it's the same as current, so the default counter bonus, like most of the other styles in this game, that's it. As for the passive, it's the same passive we have already. Highlights are heavily faded, your M2 has less of a highlight than currently, but the M1s are left alone. Really? I think right now the highlights on the M1s are pretty much gone, they don't exist, so that's surprising, but I agree with this. I do think the M1 should have highlights to some capacity. Now, we move on to the unique ability and the actual core part of the rework. The unique ability is called Adaptation. This shows itself with 2 meters, one being tinted red and the other being blue. The red meter has 2 icons, one being a single punch on the left side and the other being a barrage on the right side. There will be a slider on the middle, so it's like a slider for the volume on your, for example on YouTube, but the slider's in the middle, so it'll move based on what you do, which refers to the options which we'll cover later on relating to offensive adaptations. The blue meter is a meter that fills up in stages, kind of like Hawk's meter. For the offensive adaptations, based on what you do, Ghost can stagger more easily than other styles. having a slightly faster string reset. I don't know what this means. I believe it refers to staggering in the sense that you first M1 into a first M1, which you can do from time to time to sneakily reset your M1 string. I believe this might actually mean that when you stagger with Ghost, you actually get your stamina back more quickly, resulting in being able to actually do more M1 strings back to back and do more M1 combos as a result. As shown here, based on what you do, you're able to change your buffs that you receive as in regards to your offensive adaptations. When you do 3 startup M1s through staggering, the offensive meter will move to the left, increasing the block damage of your string by 10% and decreasing your startup block damage by 10%. When you instead do 2 M1 chains, 9 to 10 punches each, the offensive meter will move to the right, increasing the block damage of your startup M1s by 10% and decreasing your string block damage by 10%. This can be done again to have an increase/decrease of 20% maximum, which might also apply to the other adaptation. The M1 feints, when you're on the right side, so when you're on the barrage side of your offensive adaptation, will get frame advantage regardless of it being blocked or not, so that you're able to M1 after the M1 feint and always beat out your opponent. Landing a startup M1, on the other hand, refunds the stamina used, do a startup M1. Doing an M2 feint will also halve this refund. I believe this is also a buff resulting from the right side. This adaptation is reset when getting knocked out or you get a knockout. As for defensive adaptations, so the blue meter, blocking attacks will increase your max block HP. This is shown through multiple things. The blue meter will slowly fill up through stages. Stage 1 is your base block, Stage 2 increases to basics block, and Stage 3 increases it to have 1 more than basic. Your block will have a golden overheal when you enter stages 2 or 3, which I think means it regenerates even faster than before. Blocking 13 M1s or 3 M2s will allow you to move up a stage. The faster block regen mentioned above reduces basics range in Stage 2 or higher. This adaptation is reduced by half when PDing and entirely when getting a knockdown or being knocked down. As for the visual effects and sound effects, going up a stage will make it so that it does the creaking noise that Maharaga's wheel does before doing an adaptation. TLDR, this style is basically just a Maharaga style. It's not a Ghost rework whatsoever, I lied to you, it's just Maharaga. Jokes aside, I do get why this style is supposed to be surrounding adaptation, because the reason why Ricardo is so good, the main thing is, in any fight he's in, he adapts almost immediately in every single situation to the point that it's absolutely insane. It's not that his jab is just really good, he's just good at everything. His fundamentals are genuinely insane, and that's pretty much it. This is shown through the fact that the immediate instant that Date tried to throw out the corkscrew blow or the heartbreaker shot, Ricardo immediately employed an elbow block and shattered his fist. That type of adaptation on the fly is not seen anywhere else in the manga except for Takamura, which I'll probably get into later. I do have a rework myself, like an idea of a rework myself that I will submit as a video later on. Anyhow, as for maxing out an adaptation, that will make a sound when Maharaga does adapt. A red or blue vignette will appear on your screen for a brief moment when you max out an adaptation. Ultimate is called Unchanged, and he provides credits to Gouda for helping him with this suggestion. Overall, I see the thought process. I do think this might actually represent Ricardo better than what we have now, because adaptation is what he's about. It's not about the ghost jab, it's about adaptation. Thing is, this style's a lot more complicated and is more around its stats rather than a particular offensive mechanic or something new added to the game. I do think that maybe incorporating this into the current Ghost would be a good idea. Retaining the ghost jab, but adding these adaptations, but in return, nerfing the style in some particular way that makes it so that these adaptations don't make the style extremely overpowered. And yeah, if you guys like the video, you know what to do. I mentioned it in the beginning of the video. If you like this suggestion, please check it out in the Discord. I've said the name, it's called Ghost Rework, the Omega, you can search it up. And yeah, say thanks to these guys for offering up a really good suggestion that might actually pave the way for new ways we can adopt styles or like introduce new styles into this game. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.